So it'll caramelize on the bottom of the pan, and it'll give me lots of flavor. And then when it melts, it'll kiss all the other vegetables that are going in there too. So if you're doing something like risotto, where you have to constantly be putting in hot stock, you could actually put in the cubes with your risotto and your flavoring ingredients, and then just put in hot water from the can. So there we go, and that's what I want to hear, that nice sizzle. So I'm just going to cook this until it's a little soft. It won't take that long because I've cut it pretty fine. And of course, you know, with something especially like celery, it's like 95% water. So once the heat gets with the celery will impart its juices so that it won't stick, the ingredients won't stick on the bottom of the pan. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to put the lid on like that. And that'll also help develop steam, and that steam will help saute and sweat off the vegetables. So we've got that. So what I'm going to do is just on my plate here, I'm going to measure out my 1 cup of couscous. So that's a half a cup, and that's a cup. And I'm going to do a half a cup of water. And my kettle was boiling, so I'm just going to use that. And I'm going to measure out, a cup of water. And you need hot water for this, because like I said, as soon as it gets together with the couscous, your work is done. And then while the couscous is just blooming, it takes about 5 minutes, and then you flake it with a fork. I'm going to give you some ideas of how to serve it. You can do it as a warm couscous over a bed of salad greens and make that as your main entree. But what I like to do is I like to do this couscous at room temperature, and then I like to do a hand roll. So I'm going to show you how to do that in a minute. So let's just see. It smells really good. Okay, so I'm going to put in my sun-dried cranberries and my Madras Curried Couscous paste. Curry paste. I'll have my own curry pretty soon. Okay, and then just again with the lid on just for a second, and we'll just clear up our mess here. And then I'm going to go in with my apples. Oops. And my couscous and my water. Okay. So off we go. I'm just going to get that curry paste combined with all my flavoring. Boy, it sure smells good. In goes my apples. And you want the apples to go in last, because what you're trying to do here is keep the integrity of the dice. And if you put them in too soon and cook them down, you're going to end up with apple sauce. So you can see how the vegetables, in particular the apples, have picked up that Madras paste. It just gives a beautiful color. So again, you just really want to cook it until you're happy with the degree of doneness of your vegetables. And then in goes our couscous, and again that's 1 cup. And what you want to do with that is you also want to stir that around too, so that also gets the flavoring of the paste. Okay, so that's in there. A cup of water goes in. Literally, you put your lid on, you turn your heat off. This is how easy it is, I'm not joking. And you leave it for 5 minutes, and then you take a fork and you flake it, and supper's ready. I want to give you some other ideas to use the couscous other than as a side for your dinner. This would be in the replacement of your potato or your pasta or your rice. But also you could do it as an appetizer too, especially in the summer months. So what I like to do is I like to take, this is just cracked raspberry vinaigrette. I like the flavor of this, the juxtaposition of the flavor of the raspberry vinaigrette with the spicy headiness of the Madras Curried Couscous. And all I do is I just literally use it straight out of the bottle as a dip. So give it a good shake, pour some in there. And the color's really pretty too. So it's a nice spring or summer option. So what I'm going to use with that is this is Boston bib lettuce. They sometimes call it Boston head lettuce, bib lettuce, Boston bib lettuce. You can find it in the supermarket. Usually, if it's not grown hydroponically, it'll just be beside the other lettuces in the produce section. This one is grown hydroponically, and I quite like this one because they leave the root end on, so you can put some water in there, and then it'll have a longer life in your refrigerator when it's hydroponically grown. So and because the bib lettuce is so soft, it makes a great hand roll. So literally what you do is you just take it off like that, and our couscous is pretty darn close to being done. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go in and flake it with a fork. And ideally, what you'd want to do is let this cool to room temperature. But for the interest of time, we're going to say we did. And what you're going to do is just take some. See how beautiful that flakes? And it makes quite a bit. Okay, so then you go in with a spoon, and you take your bib lettuce like that, and you put some of the cooled couscous in there, and you roll it like a cabbage roll. So like this. Let me just move this out of the way. Maybe over here. Okay, so what you're going to do is you're just going to roll it like that, and then roll it in like this, and like that. It's a little aggressive with my stuffing. And then roll them over. And because it's hot too, it's actually wilting the lettuce as we speak. So that's another reason why you must let it cool to room temperature. And then put it down like that, and then just lay them in a roll. I'm going to try one more. Getting really nice, the lettuce. You might have to wipe the leaves off a little bit, especially as you get in towards the center. So if you have to do that, just go like this. That little bit off, okay? Maybe I won't be so aggressive this time with my filling. You can get more in there when it's not so hot. And again, just roll it like that, pull it towards you like that, roll it over like that, put it on there like that. So there's one idea for an appetizer for the summer for a pool party. Be really great. So until next time I see you in my kitchen, this is Chef Deb from the Fish Whisperer. Happy cooking.